My pleasure, my pleasure to introduce you to the man who made this all possible, Mr. Paul Gibbons. Take it away, my brother.
Thank you, Pete. I really, really appreciate it, sir. Some great tunes are taking me back, and I love it, man. I love that. Love what you're playing with. We're listening to you on a Sunday morning as well, so no doubt we'll be listening tomorrow. But thank you for that, guys. Please welcome to Amagian Life. Our very, very first, official meeting, the launch date. This has been, a whirlwind in happening. Can't quite believe that we even got here so quickly. And we have already done, in my eyes, we've done the impossible. Everything from now on is possible. And I'm not gonna, all of you, probably most of you on here know me. I am an emotional guy. You're probably gonna see some tears. I'll try and hold them back. But I get very, very passionate about this. And it came from, realistically, 8 years of my life with a gentleman called Andy McWilliams. Not going to cry. A gentleman called Andy McWilliams, who I met 8 years ago, who completely changed everything in my philosophy. Everything changed when I realistically started listening to Andy McWilliams. He formed a company called Revital You, and without a doubt, and you'll all know this, if you prick me, I bleed blue because of Andy. Now, I have the pleasure, absolute pleasure, of calling him my friend. I also have the pleasure of calling him my mentor. And more importantly, I get to get him to come and help us start the very, very first meeting to launch Amagian Life. Andy, could I ask you to come to the screen, please, sir?
Yes, sir. Can you see me okay? There we go. You did it.
We did it. It's been a team effort.
We did it, brother. Well, we've done it to get to this part too. You've done it, man. And I'm so proud of you, man. I'm so happy for you guys. Listen, there's a little bit of bittersweetness here. I have and still do count so many of you as friends and even family, and including Paul and Diane. This has been what a chapter in Amy and I in our life, our family, to get to know so many of you and truly way beyond just business. It's friendship. It's where you believe in people. It makes you feel good. During this whole last year when it was so hard with COVID and all the different things going on, it always just made me feel better knowing the caliber of people that are in our life, knowing that, when you watch the news and hear all these things, that the darkness they say it's out there is not true. There's so much light, there's so much beauty, there's so much power. And I think this is a testament to that all of you have rallied so much around what could have been a really difficult thing and turned into something better. And I mean that with all my heart. It's Amagian Life is the beginning of a huge opportunity for so many of you. A lot of you have been listening to me for a long time and the trainings we do, and you know my relationship with Paul and how so many of the things that I've talked and believed in have come to fruition when he put them to action. And watching him grow as a person, as a leader, has been a great honor. And it's something I'm super proud of. But I also don't want you guys to think this is some kind, just because the Revital You part, just the business part of it, we obviously still have the products and the incredible science that's behind those products, which is way more important than having my ugly mug on here. I promise. It is a big deal. There is not anyone else on the planet Earth I would even consider doing something like this with, and that is no exaggeration. But just because that part of it is changing, it's not going to be the same. This is still way more powerful. How this is going forward, I was telling Amy the other day, I said, if I'd even believed it could happen like this, I would have prayed this into existence a long time ago. That's how I think. Because this is exactly the right thing to have happen. All of you now have something that is yours, a UK company that is based in the UK, which is becoming more and more necessary due to all the stuff that's happening around Brexit and all those things. This is exactly the right thing to happen at this time. And so, but now the work begins, right? Now the getting to work and enjoying blessing people with the benefits. And here's maybe the most important thing out of all this. First of all, I will say that I'm honored to even be on here. I'm almost done because I promise I don't want to take much time. I don't ever want this to be. I never wanted to be about me when it's Revital You. I certainly don't want it to be about me right now. I'm saying this because I want to testify to you all how much I believe in Paul, how much I believe in his intention, how much I believe in his effort that he'll put forward, and more importantly, how much I believe in the model that y'all are taking forward. Like, this is up to you. It's not an owner. There's not a manager, there's a managing director. There's not a upline or a downline that's going to do this for you. It's something you have to make a decision and do, but you can do this. And the last thing I'll say is that this is not goodbye. It's just until we see each other again, because I've committed, just like you're going to see in a minute, somebody else is committed to do anything we can to help bridge this gap. You won't need us for long. You don't need us now, quite frankly, but it's a great chance for us to stay connected, because as we go around the world, we'll go around the world together. These are sister companies is how we see it. And I think Paul feels the same way. And so anything that we can do to help at any time, we'll do it. And all of you are welcome, at Revital You. Anything we do at Revital You, you're already a part of if you choose to be. But more importantly, you're Amagian Life now. You build it. This is your baby. This is it. This is the company of your dreams if you make it so. I tell anybody that will listen to me, I'm going to tell them just in an hour now when I do a training here in Plano, Texas, I'm going to tell them the same thing, which is you get out of it what you put into it. It's certainly like that in our business. It's going to be that way. And this is the perfect time to do what you're doing. And I could not be more excited, more encouraged, and ready to jump in and help any way I can. So I love you, bro. I'm so proud of you, man. I never thought this could get done the way it was done. It just shows the kind of person you are, that you could even pull this together that fast, Paul. No joke. I don't, it is, it's a testament to what I've always known is in there. The first time I met you, I said, man, I had this urge, I just knew that I had to get you to see you for more. I just thought, man, you're like a change the world kind of guy. And I know you surrounded yourself with incredible people. I've been talking to Val and Lynn and just Texas. And you just got all the right people there, man. People that I know that are on here right now, whether it be Kelsey and Tracy and everybody that's there. You just got, it's a special group, and I love you guys. And I'm pulling for you, man, every step of the way, brother.
Thank you, sir. It means so much to all of us, for you to come on here and give us that blessing. And I know, the help that everything that you've embossed in me will be continued through Amagian Life, and I'm gonna make you proud. I'm gonna absolutely.
Yeah, you already do.
Proud. Thank you.
You already do, bro. Love you, bud.
Love you, sir. Bye for now, guys. Well, it couldn't have happened without Andy. It couldn't have happened without every one of the corporate team. This we have without a doubt. We've done the impossible. I know I keep saying that, but nobody would ever believe what has been done in just the last few weeks. And now, having done the impossible, we get to do everything else that is possible. And it's going to start with every one of you. I want you to understand this will never, ever, ever be about me. It will not be about me. It will be about us. It will be about the team. It will be about every one of you wanting to build this company, and I believe into a household name. And we're going to do that really quickly because we've got some really special people that are helping us with all of that. I'm going to introduce you a little bit more to some of those people. But we couldn't do any of this, not one little bit of this, without being able to talk about, quite frankly, what the most amazing thing that we've got is, and that's our products, the existing products that have been designed by Anjana. And I'm just trying to work out how I can do more on that, but 1 second. But every one of you is familiar with the pod products. Every one of you, I know we've got a lot of guests on here, an awful lot of guests on here, which is great to see. If you haven't already tried our product, you're not going to be disappointed. They are amazing. Every one of the products that we've got in the UK is absolutely top draw. Not one of them it should ever be ignored, because every one of them does exactly what they're supposed to do, and everybody gets great results from them. Try before you buy, obviously. But I don't want to talk about the products myself, because quite frankly, why would you want to listen to somebody that definitely failed just about everything in chemistry? That said, I'm fairly certain if I'd had a teacher like Anjana, I'd have passed with an A star, because listening to Angela over the last few years, listen to her passion about the products, listen to her talking about the ingredients, and it really was the thing that got me more excited than just about anything else, and those wonderful products. Now, Angela has really stepped up to help us make sure that this deal came off. But also, more importantly, she's putting herself out today because she's got a very important day ahead of her, and she's going to come on and give us some help to to bring this to talk about the products. Angela, I'm not sure if you can actually. I'm not seeing the menus to allow you to come to the screen. Can you come to the screen, Angela? Sorry, can you hear me? Okay.
Hey, Paul, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, that's great. I think it did. Hey.
Technology. I hate computers.
You know what? With you, I can. We cannot do things individually, but when we join hands and do things, everything is possible, right? This is one little example of that.
Fantastic. Angela, I just want to, obviously, we've had some great conversations over the last few days, and again, you've put a confidence in me that means that we can absolutely change the world as far as I'm concerned, and this company is going to be the very start of it into the UK and beyond, I hope. But a lot of it, well, not a lot of it, virtually all of it comes down to the products that you've already developed for us. And I'd love you to I know we've got an awful lot of guests on here that have probably seen this for the very, very, very first time. Maybe obviously seen you for the very first time, and you look absolutely beautiful as always. But please, if you could just do what you do and talk about our amazing products for people. I'm gonna get off the screen because I don't want to detract from anybody seeing your beautiful face.
Well, thank you, Paul. First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to participate. And before anything else, I want to welcome everybody who took out time for this very, very important event to participate. And I actually also want to congratulate you and Diane and all of Amagian Life on this very momentous occasion. And I just said Amagian Life, the name is so beautiful, the way it rolls off your tongue. And even more important is what it means. And it just warms my heart to see the direction that you're taking this company, that the legacy that Andy created with the belief and where you're taking it as the next step. So congratulations to all of you, and especially Paul, to you and Diane for making this happen. I have to tell, my name is Anjana Srivastava. For the guests, you said there's some guests here today. I'm the President and Chief Science Officer at Revital U. My background is a combination of science and management, and I've spent about 25 plus years in the health and wellness industry. So truly enjoy getting behind the products and this industry, and how people put their passion behind these products to share them with others. I met Paul, I think for the first time. It was my first convention, my first Revital U convention in Dallas. And I have to say, from my impression of Paul was this passionate, emotional and passionate person who almost had this childlike innocence about him, but so deep in his belief in what he does and the depth of his care for people. That's what I've known Paul to be up until very, very recently. In addition to all of that, the side of Paul that I've seen is a force to reckon with, I have to say. All of that beauty and passion and compassion, emotion, but I really saw that become this drive and determination to make happen what happened that is really, truly amazing, impossible, pulling the impossible together in the short time period. And it's because of his relationships, the belief that people have in him, that Amagian Life became possible. So I'm going to give you, I commend you for doing that, Paul, and I'm going to give you a big hand for doing that. We have to take a moment to establish that as the beginning of Amagian Life. And I am very pleased that Andy has the confidence and trust in you, because I'll tell you a little bit about our products, which everybody, I'm fortunate, I feel, that everybody puts their credibility behind as they share them with others. But these products are very special. And I create them with all my heart and all my knowledge and all that I've learned over the past 25 years working with the world's best scientists, product development experts, nutritionists, toxicologists, what have you, which I've had the good fortune to work with in 50 plus countries around the world. So all of that gets poured into these products, but it really speaks volumes to see that these kind of products that Andy has in Revital You and then he's invested in, he's willing to share and extend only because of his trust and relationship with Gibby, with Paul. And that's not easy to do. Yet his belief is reflected in the fact that he has agreed. I'm pretty sure he would not do it with just anybody. So that's pretty great. So why are these products so special? I always take pride in the fact that these are created with just one goal in mind, to create health. You know, products that work. Sounds very simple, but it's profound. If you think about what goes behind them to make them products that work. I also take a lot of pride in the fact that, you know, you can look at what's on the label and it's powerful, and you can compare the label with any other product, and I can challenge you, they will always be superior, yet no one can copy them. They can't look at the label and put it together because of the layers that we built in not just the ingredients that we select, but also the manufacturing process that's proprietary and exclusive to us. So even if someone found all the ingredients, they could not put a product together that worked just as well. And it starts with, of course, identifying those ingredients in nature and validated by science. So we look for ingredients like, you know, many of you have used these products, you know the benefits, and just the accuracy and precision that goes behind these products. That's perhaps why you first took the first sample. But it's the ingredient selection. And after that, it's the testing of every batch of incoming raw materials, testing of the finished product to validate what, you know, our suppliers tell us before these products become what gets in your hands. So what we're extending through Amagian Life is that same quality of products, that same accuracy and precision that goes into the absolute integrity that goes into making these products and making them the highest quality ever, and making them not just difficult, impossible for anybody else to knock off. So you know they're going to be exclusive for you. So smart products, I'm sure you've used the smart products. Possibly that was the first. Smart coffee or smart caps may have been your entry into the benefits of these products. You may have experienced our slim tea for cleansing and detoxing, or maybe the latest entry in the product line, Defend, which is just so relevant, so important in the world today. And that's what I think, Paul, you said, we're going to change the world. You know, you hear that, it seems cliche at times, but we truly have the ability to do that. In fact, you know, if you think about what the cultural anthropologist, Margaret Mead, I think her name is, once said, she said, the only way to change the world, and I'm paraphrasing, you know, these may not be her exact words, but she said, the only way to change she said, never underestimate the power of committed individuals to change the world. In fact, that's the only thing that ever has. My words may be mixed up, but it's the power of those committed individuals, small groups of committed individuals. And you have that passion and the drive, you can indeed change the world. And we have the perfect weapon of choice, which is our products. What does the world need today more than anything else? Health. Yeah. And, you know, right now, the whole world has been grappling with this coronavirus and, you know, the other strains, the mutations of the virus. Let me tell you, this is not the end of it. This is just the beginning of this new era of health and how humans and viruses are going to be interacting. So it helps all of us to be a little bit stronger. You know, immune strength has always been very important forever, right? Because that's the thing that protects you from anything. What is it that stands behind you and anything between you and anything that's coming at you from the world? It's your immune system. You know, it could be a little dust particle that gets in your nose and you sneeze, and that's the immune response. It could be even with yourself. It could be all of the byproducts of metabolism that get created in your body every single minute we exist, which is cancer-causing compounds as well. What protects you from that? Our immune system. So the importance of immune system was always fabulous, but today it's bigger than ever before. Everybody has to strive to be at least 10% stronger in terms of health and your immune system, because this is going to become of paramount importance. Not a multivitamin, but something to protect your immune system is the gateway to nutrition. And our body is all we have. And a body is miraculous. If you feed it the right nutrition, that's what it needs to do miraculous things for your health. And from the immune system to every other part. Our products have benefits that deliver energy, not just energy. It's positive energy, pure positive energy that comes from the core. And I say positive energy because it's mental energy and physical energy. You know, just the drive and the energy to do things, but also the mental outlook to see things, because that improves your drives. So, you know, I love talking about the products. I could keep going forever, and maybe we'll get chances to talk more about those as well. I just wanted to assure you that it's that same high quality product that you've come to trust and put your credibility behind that is now going to be offered through your company. And I think for some time, even with the Revital You branding, and then it's going to transition to your beautiful branding, but you can trust these products. I will personally ensure this high quality of the products that we intended, so they're identical to the Revital You products as well. And you know, it's a tool. It's a tool in your toolbox, the products. It's a sharp tool. It's like a sharp tack. But you know what? You have to put your power and your passion and your drive behind these. Otherwise, they're like push pins that you put on the wall, the tacks, thumbtacks, very sharp. But if you throw those at the wall or at someone, they're not going to be able to do much. But imagine adding that in the front of a 6-foot pole or a 12-foot javelin. And then when you throw it, it can do a lot, right? That's your story. That's your passion. That's your drive. Just like Paul has shown in the creation of this company, Amagian Life, that's the drive that's needed to grow this company. And we are so confident in you that you're going to be able to do it. So proud of you. Congratulations once again. And thank you for giving me a chance to participate.
Anjana, I couldn't have asked for a better person to do that. These products are amazing, all developed by you. I thank you so much for your help over the last few weeks. Well, over the last few years, but certainly in the last few weeks, because I know without all your help, this could never have happened. And again, you know, we want to make you proud. Every one of your products, every one of us absolutely loves every one of them, and we're looking forward to the new ones coming eventually. But we've got some work to do for that. But it just says such a testimony to you as well. You know, we were talking late last night, and you know, really putting yourself out to be able to do this for us today. It means so much. Thank you.
Don't hesitate to reach out ever.
Fantastic. And I know just to finish on that, you did also say that you'd be helping us with some of the videos and talking about products and some trainings and things like that. That would be fantastic. Lots and lots of more of a fantastic relationship and a friendship that's going to go on for decades and decades. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you. Guys, this it just gets, honestly, I know, you know, I am an emotional guy. I don't know what happened to me. I think Revital You switched something on inside of me that makes me into a gibbering wreck at times. But I get very passionate about everything that we do. I get very passionate about, you know, the business that we're in, and because of mainly because of what it's done for my life. And certainly, you know, Andy and Anjana and Pat and the Mitchells and all of the corporate staff at Revital You have every one of them has got behind this company to make it happen. It couldn't be, if any one of them at any point decided this wasn't going to happen, it was not going to happen. It has happened. It's special. I want you all to really understand just how special this is. But without a doubt, it could not have happened from the UK point of view without two people who have massively stepped up to when I asked them to step up, they stepped up and stepped up a few more steps, and we couldn't have done it without both Val and Lynn Jones. And I'm going to ask, hopefully Val can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, Paul. Hopefully you can see us now as well.
Yeah, we can see you as well. That's great. Guys, look, right from the very, as they say, from the get-go, we've been involved in Revalue. I personally think that Revalue was only ever in the UK. Well, I don't personally think it. I know it. It's because of you two making sure that when we back in the day when we were fetching the products out of the boot of our cars and running around all sorts of hurricanes going off around us, but we got it going and we started something very, very special. This is, without a doubt, the next generation of what we started 4 years ago, is it now? And we've been together 8 years or so.
Yes, we have.
And I don't want to keep going over the same points, but it couldn't have happened if you hadn't been in the corner with us, helping us get everything sorted out. And now obviously taking on that massive role of making sure that the product, and I think in fact, I'll let you tell us, if you just want to just summarize what's gone over the last last 3 weeks tomorrow or something.
Yeah, it's to say it's been a crazy couple of weeks, I think, is an understatement.
And a half.
And a half, yeah.
And a half.
Paul, for those who don't know, Paul actually spoke to us and said, "Look, I'm thinking of doing this. I want to do this, but I need, I could really do with your help to make it happen." We had a chat and realized the enormity of what we may be letting ourselves in for. Well, we thought we did, but we really didn't. There's the answer to that. But look, I think the first thing I would say is none of this would have happened without Paul's vision, without his forethought in terms of wanting to do something to make sure that the Revital U products stayed within the UK and were able to be distributed within the UK. And I think that's testimony to him and Dan and all the work that they then had to put in to start to get it going. From our point of view, yes, the distribution side of things we picked up because we've done it before. As Paul knows, we did it for Revital U for a couple of years over here in the UK. So we were fairly well attuned to understanding what needed to be done. But it's like all of these things, when you're trying to do something in what is effectively a very, very short timescale, it puts pressure on everybody. And I have to say, the person who did a lot of the work to make sure it all happened is sat beside me, that's Lynn. Because, I ended up, I think we ended up being all sorts of things as far as getting the business concerned, or getting the business going was concerned.
Lots of different hats, shall we say?
Yeah, lots of different hats. From looking at spreadsheets and all sorts of different things and stock and all of these things. And, from Lynn's perspective, it was saying, right, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to make sure this happens. And yes, it's been a whirlwind. I think that's the best way of describing it.
Exciting. It has been exciting.
I'll be honest with you, it hasn't finished. It's still going. It's still a whirlwind. And we've got so much to do. I know what Paul's thoughts are, what his vision is for Amagian Life. And I know that it is so exciting. But it's like all of these things. Rome wasn't built in a day, so we can't do everything at once, but we're trying our very best. We really are trying our best to make sure everything happens as quickly as possible. And I know from our perspective, we will continue to work extremely closely with Paul because we have to.
We might even meet up at one point.
The early morning phone calls, the late night phone calls, all of these things are all part of getting a business going. But I have to say, without Paul's vision and without his energy, none of this would have happened. Absolutely. So, you should be saying well done to Paul for pulling this all together, because I know how difficult that has been.
Val, that's very, 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 very nice of you to say that, and I obviously appreciate you saying it. But we both know it's been a joint effort. There's no way that I could have done couldn't have done anything without you guys. And you know, that means that's special. It's always going to be special what we've done. We've renamed you the alpacas, but in reality, you know, you could be Al everything. You know, you've absolutely you mentioned there about, you know, many caps. Wow, I mean, you've been accountant, you've been absolute chief cook and bottle washer, you've been hand delivering it in cases and picking it all up from where it was, driving the lorries. It goes on and on and on and on. And Linda, like you said, and we've done all this in a pandemic and without even actually meeting up. And that again is testimony to yourselves, but also to our friendship, and knowing that the company is in very, very good hands. You know, this is not a new company. This is a company that has been planned over years and years and years of expertise in different fields that are all coming together to make something very, very special. And I know that, and I know I keep repeating myself, but we've done the impossible. We absolutely have. When we write this story down and actually tell people what's actually gone on, nobody would believe us. People have said to me, and obviously Val especially, because he's my conscience. He's going to keep us all on track and make sure that I don't just don't get too carried away. But I have got obviously a lot of passion, and a lot of that passion has come from, you know, from the network, from the people that I consider my family. You people, really. And I get to actually bring a few of those actually onto the screen, because as I've said, and I'm going to go into this in a little bit more detail a little bit further down the line as to how this company was formed and where the name came from. But before I say that anymore, in fact, I'm gonna get Lynn to announce the company name correctly, because when she first said it to me, it was like, pardon, what? I can't even spell it. What? So, Lynn, tell us more.
It's Amagian. Amagian life. It means to restore to health, to restore and revive to health.
Revive and restore and revive. It was that line when you said that to me, and that it came from the Old English. It came straight in. I love that idea. I couldn't spell it, but I've learned, and I've got very excited about it. But I'm going to ask a few other people to come onto the screen and tell us a little bit about their story. And obviously they've been involved right from the very, very beginning. I made it very, very clear that this company will not be about Paul Gibbons. Far from it. Paul Gibbons will be in the background doing what he's good at, doing what what I believe will make sure that the company gets off to the very, very fastest start possible and breaks all records and makes sure that, you know, all the things that were maybe slowing us down a little bit don't. We're going to take this to a whole new level. We're going to do it really, 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 really quickly. But the reason why we're going to do that really quickly is because of the founding five, as I'm going to tell you, as I've already named them. And I'm going to bring them onto the screen and ask them to tell a few little words about, their journey over the last couple of years, I suppose. And I'm going to start, if I can get the IT right on this, I'm going to start with Tracy Malone, if I can find her. Tracy, let me just make sure that I make you a co-host on here. That should allow you to come live to the screen. Now, those of you that don't know Tracy, you obviously haven't been involved in the company before, but Tracy's definitely my little sister. Again, probably one of my consciences, but the person who always picks me up and puts me right back where I belong, I think. But she, if ever you needed somebody to give you a shot in the arm, it's Tracy Malone, and she is tiny in stature but massive in everything else that she does, and has become one of my closest friends. And it's apt to start with Tracy. Tracy, I'm gonna take myself off the screen and let you do your wonderful stuff. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. First of all, I did not expect this to be so emotional. Like, I know I've been excited, but look, I'm already through like 3 tissues worth, and we've not even started yet. So firstly, I just want to say thank you to Andy, Amy, all of the corporate staff, Pat, Dan, everybody that we've all built relationships up with in the States. I'm glad that it's not going to be goodbye. And I'm really glad that, you know, we are going to be a sister company moving forward, because I, for one, feel like, you know, Paul's calling us the founding 5. And I really feel like we've been helping build the foundations of this company for the last 4 years. And it's been a roller coaster 4 years of my life. And to be able to go forward and it not be goodbye, and to go forward with Paul and Val and Lynn and Kelsey and, you know, all of the people that we started out with, is just a huge blessing. And that for me has been, it's been massive. You know, obviously it's been a huge part of my life for 4 years. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Tracy Malone. As you can see, I don't know if you can see on your screen, but people call me Shiny. I don't know where the name came from, but it's because I'm usually in a good mood and I'm just everybody's shining light. You know, Paul, if he's feeling a bit rubbish or doing whatever he's doing, he'll start texting and I'll say, stop texting. Like, ring me and we'll get you back to center. And, you know, that's what I tend to do for people. But I joined the company 4 years ago. I was very lucky right at the beginning of my journey to go on a leaders retreat. At the time when I didn't even consider myself to be any kind of anything really. I used to knock doors for a living. I was a gas and electricity saleswoman for one of the big 6 energy firms, and that was my job. I was 41, I think, at the time, 41, 42, and I just didn't want it to be my life. I didn't want that to be my life. So I was looking for something. Gibby came in and he's like, you need to look at this, you need to look at this, you need to look at this. And eventually, after turning him down a few times, I did look at it when he turned up on my doorstep with his samples and his coffee, and I agreed to give it a go. So that was the initial introduction to the business. Now, fast forward 4 years, I have had just the most amazing journey. I literally, guys, had no experience, none. I'd done like a bit of online selling before, but nothing like this. I'd never built a team. I'd never, you know, got customers or anything like that. And I went on to become the biggest customer gatherer in the UK. I think I was 3rd in the whole company with over 1,000 personal customers. You know, I built a great team. I got up to national rank, which I'm really, really proud of. And qualified for cruises. We've been on 2 cruises. It was just awesome. You know, there's so many things, so many memories, and I'm so glad that I get to keep those memories and all the friendships that I've built. And it, you know, that we're going forward together. But let's just talk about Amagian life. I mean, I'm so glad that everybody said it a few times, because I was a little bit like, I was like, I'm not quite how to say it. Is it Amagian? Is it Amagian? Is it like, but Amagian life. I don't know if anybody else, I started filling up when the DJ started playing Call Me Out at the beginning of this. Totally unexpected. Just, I was like, oh, this is it. This is us. It is. It's launching. We're going forward. And it's so exciting to be part of the founding 5. You know, it's just amazing. I'm so glad and so happy that we've all got to go forward together. And thank you to Paul and Diane and to Val and Lynn and Tom. I know Tom's in the background doing all of the things that Gibby tells him to do. A lot of the IT stuff, guys. Let me tell you, Tom Crow, you want to be owing him a big favor as well, because he will be, he's like the IT whipping boy in that office, I'm telling you. So a big round of applause to everybody that's got everything going. A big round of applause for just getting it off the ground. Thank you for letting me be involved, and let's do it. Let's call me out.
Hey, Tracy, thank you. You know, obviously, again, you know, you are, you know, one of the founding fives for a really good reason. And you know, you're certainly one of my founding fives. So let's take this to a whole new level. Thank you, Tracy. I'm going to bring on straight on to on probably my yeah, I think if Tracy's my little sister, what would Kelsey be? Kelsey's my, yeah, she's my annoying little sister. I'm going to bring Kelsey Blake on. Kelsey's obviously been, you know, so successful, the most successful brand influencer in the UK, and has really stepped up. You know, one of the reasons, and again, I don't want to get emotional about it, so I'm not going to talk about it, but you know, she's a big reason why this company has been formed. So I need to just get her on, and you go on, Kelsey, tell us your story.
I am here. Hello. I'm telling you, I was doing this. Don't get emotional. Don't talk about it, because I've been trying to hold myself together in the background. So just give me a minute. So, I'm not going to be on for long because I get way more emotional than everyone else. 3 years ago, Paul realistically came to me with an opportunity that I actually said no to about 5 times, actually. I said no to him quite a few times. And that opportunity and that company literally changed my whole life, my family's life, my friends' lives, because I've been able to do so many things for so many people. And it really brought my own potential out of me as well. I had no idea I was capable of anything that I have been doing. I had no idea I could find a vehicle that would change so many other people's lives too. So when Paul brought this to me and asked me if I wanted to be a part of it, it was like a no-brainer. I literally trust Paul Gibbons with my whole life, with my family's life, with my team's lives, team, with literally like every fibre of my being. There was no chance that I would not trust what Paul is telling me. And so that is the reason I will be involved so heavily in this. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited. I just got very emotional in the background, obviously, for lots of different reasons. Like Tracy said, there's been so many memories from it all. So many relationships with people who are over in the USA. I just want to say a huge thank you to Andy, his wife, all of corporate, everybody, because without me starting that in 2018, I am not sure where my life would be right now, and I'm going to literally leave it there because I'm like a wreck. Thank you so much.
Kelsey, thank you for doing that. I know it is an emotional time for us all, and you know, I'm really pleased that I wasn't the only one to cry on in any of this. But you know, we can't do this without passion. If this business does not make you cry, then you haven't found your why. That is a fact. And if you don't find your why, you will never get this business even off the ground. And if you think that you found your why, then the second that you think about it, it'll make you cry. That's when you know you found your why in this business. Kelsey Blake was the first person that I ever really met in this business that had not only a why, but she had the hunger, the absolute hunger to change her life and her family's lives. And without a doubt, she's done it. Now, I'm going to, again, get emotional about it, but the fact is that I want to help build another 100, another 200, a 500, 1,000, 10,000 Kelsey Blakes, because that's what gives me the drive and the passion to really take this to the next level. When you can see somebody like Kelsey completely change her life and be able to do what she can do like nobody else on the planet can do, and knowing that she's got a vehicle that will allow her to teach others to do that, then you're in a very, very, very special place. Now, one of those very, very special people that I believe that it was actually Kelsey that convinced to come. I've got the running order wrong, but I'm gonna stick with that. Yeah, we'll go. I know she's probably not ready for this, but I'm just going to hope that she is. And we've got a little bit of history, me and Rachel. I'm going to bring Rachel Rains onto the screen, and I'm going to let you listen to Rachel's story, because
hello.
Another special.
Well, you told me to behave, so I was going to behave, and I wasn't going to tell any of these funny stories because you told me to watch my mouth, right? So I was going to be good.
Well, yeah, please be good, but be yourself as well, because this is a people business. People, not everybody's going to gel with me, not everybody's going to gel with Kelsey, not everybody's going to gel with all the other founding fives, and I think that's one of the most wonderful things about this business, is that you work with the people that you want to work with, whether they be upline, sideline, any other line. It's probably one of the most satisfying things about this business, the relationships that people build, and obviously you can be rewarded very, very well for it. So Rachel, please, I know you're bursting, so please you tell us more.
I'm going to try not to talk too much because I could chew your ears off for days. Like, I could go forever. I'm a little bit nervous, so when I'm nervous, I talk a lot. So first of all, those of you who don't know me, my name is Rachel Rains. My background within network marketing within the industry, I started in the industry 6 years ago, and as Paul was talking about why, I think it became very apparent when I had children that I had to find something that I could work around my family, around my children, rather than going to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, finishing work at 6 p.m. in my bank job, and never seeing my kids. I needed something, I needed time freedom. So I came into the industry 6 years ago, and let's just say I made a lot of mistakes. I think like a lot of us do. And it took me a while to find my people. It took me a while to find where I belonged. And with all them mistakes came lessons, came growth. And I grew very much so as a person in the aspect of I learned from every mistake that I made. And one of them is a funny story with Paul, which I won't go into. We'll leave that for another day. It's quite a funny story, but he's got a t-shirt that I made him with my face on it, but we'll just leave it at that. So kind of why this company and why now? And I'm going to be completely honest, there is nowhere else I would rather be. From the girl who was lost, the girl who had no confidence, the girl who kind of felt like giving up on the industry and had lost all hope in the industry, to finding a product that literally changed my whole entire life. And for anyone who's watched my journey with regards to the product, will see what the product did for me. I had no confidence, I was morbidly obese. So finding a product that I would say gave me my life back, in all honesty, 100 pounds lost, confidence, and finally being able to find myself alongside with finding a company and people that I respect, that I trust. And there is nowhere else I would rather be in that aspect. And I think touching on the side of the people that I can trust, along with Paul, along with the other girls that I'm working closely with, I can honestly say, with putting the funny stories aside, Paul has never let me down, ever. He has always had my back. He's somebody that I trust. He is somebody that I can see his passion. And there is nowhere I would rather be in that side of things. And I think over the past couple of weeks, coming together with the other ladies, with Kelsey, Tracy, Sammy, Jackie, all working together and coming together kind of, I suppose, as a bit of a family in the UK. And I can see something really special happening in the aspect of every single person that comes into this company right now. We're going to create something super special with some really special people. And the good thing is you get the best bits of every single person. Now, for me, being in the industry for 6 years, I've learned what works, what doesn't work. I can show people what works, what doesn't work. And I can kind of carry my knowledge forward, which I'm really, really excited to do. And I'm a bit humbled to have been asked to kind of step up and be one of the founding 5 people from Paul. So I just kind of want to say a huge, massive thank you to you, Paul, for giving me the opportunity, for believing in me, for having my back. And I trust you 100%. I trust the vision of where this company is going. I trust everyone that we're working with and the products I trust. And I can't wait
to help everybody else to start finding their founding five, to move forward with a massive vision. And I know what this company is going to do, and it's going to change lives, and we are going to change lives. And I'm so excited, so excited.
Fantastic, Rachel. And I know, obviously your passion shines through without a shadow of a doubt. And you are, you've proved in a very, very short period of time. Yes, you've learned your trade possibly at other places, but you've come to ourselves, and you bring that passion, you bring that wealth of knowledge and industry experience. And yeah, I know that you're going to be one of the top earners in this industry, and you're absolutely spot on about the fact that we got your back, we got everybody's back, and thank you for those kind words, and I look forward to working closely with you over the coming decades.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Rachel. So the next person that I'm going to introduce came to me. In fact, she came to me. It was something special that was brought by the products, the amazing products that we've got. And again, somebody that's become not just, obviously, it's not just a business colleague and a brand influencer, brand partner, as we're going to call ourselves now, but somebody that is, has been through things that, most people should never have to go through. But she brought a lot of that passion with her to Revalue, and now she was right at the top of my list when I wanted to build the founding five. Jackie Meisel has been a stalwart in the business, but also running her Revalue business while she's been full time in another business, and has still managed to become one of the leaders in the UK. And again, somebody very, very special. But I want to, and I don't want this. And I'm starting to look at these as if it's like everybody's just saying how great I am. And yes, I am great. but this is not, apart from this probably this launch. You're not going to see me an awful lot. You're going to be seeing the founding five. You're going to be seeing other people coming into the fold as well. And I appreciate everybody, thanking me for what we've done, what Diane and I have done, and quite a few other people that have stepped up. But certainly Jackie is one of those people that I confide in, and that has really stepped up to the plate when asked. So Jackie, I'm hoping that you can hear me okay. I can't see you on my screen, which is a little bit worrying, but if you could bring your there we go.
I'm here. Can everybody see me and hear me?
We can see and hear you. Look fantastic as always. Thank you for jumping on here. I know again, you're a little bit nervous about doing this, and but I just appreciate you doing it. And again, your passion of what you've brought with regards to the products and your team and all of your energies. You had to be one of our founding five.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. I'm just wondering, how do you follow Kelsey and her crying? Because how I held it together through that, I will never know. But yeah, for people that don't know me, my name's Jackie Meisel. I live in a small town in the northwest called Newton Willows. I'm really super excited, and I feel very privileged to be asked to be one of Paul's founding five and to be here with you today. My story is quite simple. It was my love of our smart coffee that has brought me here today. I bought my first tub of coffee off Paul Gibbons, and I can still remember the conversation now, and I never looked back. After taking it for a few days, really, no longer than a week, I rang Paul and stepped into the business. It was that simple. And I did never look back. From day one, Paul Gibbons has supported me, he's helped me, he's trained me, probably had a bit of earache off me as well from time to time. But the one thing is, he's always believed in me. And I just want to get across that, what Paul doesn't know about our products isn't worth knowing. We've got Paul along with Val and Lynn, and, they've been the backbone of the UK for so many years. So realistically, people we already know, we already trust, running this business. So it is a win-win situation for everybody in the UK. You know, there's an opportunity here for everybody to grab with both hands. And, you know, it's the same amazing products, the same amazing results. You know, we've still got all those testimonials. It's just a new company name. Now, you know, Paul's found his founding five. For me, as a leader, it's about seeing who's stepping up in my team, who's going to be my founding five, you know, who are they recruiting, who's going to be their founding five, and their founding five. You know, the opportunity here is huge. You know, sometimes in life, an opportunity presents itself to you, and sometimes you've just got to take it with both hands. You know, I grabbed an opportunity. I was brave. I had no experience whatsoever, and I went out of my comfort zone to do this. I really did. And honestly, if I can do it, anybody can. You know, I know that anybody who joins this business after this launch, it'll be the best thing they ever did. More importantly, all the brand influencers from Revital You, you know, if you carry on with your journey, the time is now. And in the words of Paul Gibbons, the beginning of the beginning has begun. And I think that's about all. You know, what more can I say?
That's Jackie. And I don't want you to say any more, because I know I'll end up asking you questions that'll end up us both crying. So yeah, we'll not do that. Thank you for that. So apt. The beginning of the beginning has definitely begun. And this time, you know, we get to decide where the track goes. And you know, we're in a very, very special place. Thank you for that, Jackie. And I know we're going to be meeting up hopefully very soon for a much needed chat and maybe a couple of drinks. You never know. It might be. That'd be
nice.
Right. So the final of our five is somebody that over just again a very, very short period of time, absolutely brand new to the industry, had no industry experience, and yet she has shone through like a bullet right to the very, very top of the industry, and certainly within our company, she's become, you know, a legendary status, and a lot of what she does, she's been one of the driving force in the business. But also, you know, she's also helped so many other people that she had no reason to help those people, you know, just because of who she is. Certainly, she's helped me with lots and lots of things, and her advice and her partner Chris's advice has been, you know, a really good start of our relationship in Amagian life. But it's her passion and her drive that really, really shone through. And I believe that, you know, our last member of the founding five at the moment will be probably one of the people that's going to really impact so many other people's lives in these coming days, weeks, months, years, decades. Sammy, I'm hoping that you can hear my voice. There's always that nervousness about, you know, somebody being on a Zoom and then whatever it going wrong. But I can see your face, your beautiful face.
Hello.
Hey, great. You look fantastic as always. And again, both you and Chris really, really helped, you know, with a lot of what's going on in the background. And it's so it means so much to us to have you, you know, bringing your passion to this business and to, you know, obviously to the industry, but certainly to Amagian life.
Thank you so much. I'm not going to lie to you. I am not a public speaker whatsoever. So please do not think I'm a public speaker. I get nervous just like the rest of us, but I am so excited that this day has arrived, because I'm not going to lie, it has been very testing, to say the least, keeping some stuff a secret. Very, very testing. But before I go on about that, like Paul said, I've not been here long at all in the industry. Just over 2 years I started my journey, and that was from a place of, I think we've all been in that place where we lose ourselves, we lose our confidence when things happen in our life. And for me, it was having my son and having complications that I'm not going to go into because I will start welling up, but I lost myself and I needed something to be able to find myself, because I had lost the passion in what I was doing, and I needed to look after my health, and I found a sample. And trying this sample, I kid you not when I say it's changed my life, it really, really has. And I'm so, so passionate about it. But over the last 2 years, when I started my journey, yes, I am dead passionate about it and I'm passionate about these products. But over the last 2 years, Paul has been my go-to, and he knows that, because half the time I'm always popping up in his inbox when I need something. When I've got an issue, I'm like that annoying person pecking your head. So, and I know as well as many of the team as well, Paul is always the person that we go to whenever we need something. He has been there, and I could not think of a better person to take this company beyond anyone's expectations. I have literally complete and utter trust in Paul, his morals, and well, we all know he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he wants us all to succeed, just like each and every one of us do. I also want to say a massive happy birthday to Diane, because what a day to have a birthday on launch day. And I want to say a massive kind of thank you to Val and Lynn as well, because they are the pillar and the backbone of what we have, and they have been for the last 2 years as well. So to all of you, it's just incredible to be a part of it. I couldn't think of better people to be partnered with. The products I love, I trust. I literally couldn't go a day without them. I'm not gonna lie, could not go a day without them. But I feel like the last 2 years has been leading us to this point. It's all been building to this point. And do you know what? We're ready to shake up the industry. We're ready to go bigger. We're ready to go better. We're ready to go louder and to develop into what's gonna inevitably change lives. And it's being created by people in the field. He's in the field and he'll never stop being that person. So you know this company's being created by people that know what you want to see. But we have started the right way. We've been creating the best ethos, the best vision possible. One where there's no division, no standalone, no limitations. We work as one, which is really, really rare in this industry. It is really rare. But being able to work alongside some incredible people, incredible leaders that I've never had a chance to work with before. And it is something I know that is going to create an absolute storm in so many incredible ways. I'm so excited for what's to come. So here is to me finding my founding 5. I know that some of them are watching right now, and I know that they are already working on their founding 5, because look, it's a system, it's duplicatable. If you can do it, you can teach others. And that's something that Paul has always said to me, and I will always remember it. So hey, look, if you're there, have you found your founding 5? Because here's to the future of OWL.
Fantastic. Sammy, well, you say you're not a public speaker. You're probably one of the best I've ever heard. And, you know, just keep doing what you're doing. And we know that you're going right to the very, very top of this industry. And I'm so proud to have you as part of my founding 5. Thank you. And thank Chris. I know you guys are going through a lot at the moment. And then the way that you've stepped up to this just is testimony to you both. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys,
look, Sammy said every one of them said wonderful things about me, and I really, really do appreciate it. But I really, really, really want you all to understand that this is not going to be about me. It is going to be driven by the founding 5 and the people that come after them, their founding 5 and their founding 5 and their founding 5 and their founding 5, because that's what gets us the momentum. I want everybody to understand that, you know, if you just join the business and do nothing, then I'm fairly certain you're going to get a phone call from myself or one of my trusted founding 5, because that's not what this is going to be about. I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail very shortly. But I also want you to understand where this really came from. Where obviously, you know, I suppose I could say I was tasked with what most people would have said was an impossible opportunity, and yet I didn't want to lose it. I didn't want it to go away. I didn't want to let people down. So I went to work, and certainly, you know, I found the right people, put all the right people around me, got what needed to be done. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm obviously, yeah, not trying to blow my own trumpet or anything like that. But I found out when I was 26 years old that I'm dyslexic. Which was mainly, I just used to think I was a bit thick. I certainly can't spell to save my own life. I nearly said the word there, for a certain search engine, or I probably wouldn't be able to write most of the things down. But I was really struggling with the company name. I mean, really struggling with it. And we were talking about, and time was against me. I mean, really, really against me. We had to get the company formed. We had to get all the things doing. We also had to come up with some idea for logos, for brandings, for, you know, for all the things that you have to do when you're starting any business. But never mind when you're starting a direct sales business, people expect to, you know, to change people's lives from day one. Well, you know, I racked my brains, and luckily for me, one person came straight to mind that I knew I needed to talk to. I needed just to be able to pull on some resources that I've yet to glean any idea of understanding. My forte is definitely not logos or artwork or branding or anything like that. As every one of you have already seen, you know, I completely wear my heart on my sleeve, and I know that's not a good thing most of the time, but it will be a driving force for this company. So the one person that I knew that had expertise, and I mean real expertise in that field, was a gentleman that I met through Revital U. I met him around about 4 years ago in Dallas, Texas. And it's one of those moments when you meet somebody, you think, OMG, this guy is just on a, forgive me, but he's actually on a different planet, because he's so far advanced from everybody else that I've met when it comes to talking about branding. Peter Wood is, well, let me explain this. Peter Wood, at the time that I first met him, was driving a Mini in Dallas. Now, if you've ever been to Dallas, driving a Mini in Dallas is a statement and a half. But he's not only that, you know, when I got to meet him and talk to him and listen to him and find out that, you know, what he'd already done in his life, you know, worked for companies like Saatchi, for companies like Volvo, for companies like BMW. And probably one of his most famous, and certainly the one that sticks in my mind when I first started talking to him, was that Pete was the gentleman that was behind Motorola's Hello Moto. And do you know what? If you're going to try and change the world, we are. If you're going to try and change the world, you need to put people around you that are capable of changing the world. And Peter's going to help us to bring the Revital U ethos into Amagian life. And I want to bring him onto the screen, because I want to try and even recreate the first telephone call that we had with Peter, where for me, I went from trying to make this continue to suddenly realizing that, OMG, this is going to be a world-changing company. This is going to be a household name in like 5 minutes of talking to the gentleman. Peter, I'm praying that you can hear me, and that you can see me, and that more importantly, that I can get to see you and you can come to the screen. Peter, can you bring? Hey, Pete, it's so good to see you, sir. So good to see you.
Brilliant,
man. Pete, I thank you for doing this. I appreciate, you know, the time in Dallas as well. You know, putting yourself out. But I wanted to. I just wanted everybody to feel what I felt, and I know that's probably a little bit silly thing to say because you can't go back in time. But I know that 5 minute telephone conversation that I had with you, certainly in my eyes, changed the world. In fact, I remember actually saying to you, Pete, stop talking. I need to get other people. I need to get home. I need to get people on a Zoom. I need other people for you to sort of just say what you said to me, and do it again, mate. Just do it again.
All right. So Paul told me that, you know, they come up with this name. Actually, Lynn Jones came up with it, Amagian Life, and I was thinking, gosh, that's a kind of one for the get the tongue around. But then they started talking about this to come from Old English, and it's brilliant because what it means is to revive and restore. I thought that was cool, and it has the word life, right? Who doesn't want life, right? Life is everything, and these also sync well this thought of, revive and restore syncs well with Revital U, which, as also was pointed out to me, the last two letters of Revital U are AL, which we'll come to in a minute. And then, like I said, it's something that's kind of hard to take. But then I thought, what happens? What happens if we take the initials AL, and now we've got a persona, we've got Al. And give you a simple example. What happens if you kind of text a friend and said, would you like to meet my friend Al? Right? It's personal. It's perfect for texting, right? And it's like you're introducing something. And before you get kind of worried about Al, male, because we know we've got lots of words like Alan and Alfred, Alec and Alistair and Albert. Also, by the word male has Al in it, right? But ladies, hang on a minute. Female has Al in it. All right, F-E-M-A-L-E, right? And then we have Alice, Alison, Alicia, Alexa, Ali, blah, 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 Anne, blah, 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 go on and on and on. So all of us can be Al. That's the point. And he's that person. And Al's like, think of Al as your, as our calm, our stay calm. He can be an agony aunt. They can be a bodyguard. Bodyguard, right? Not bodyguard. It's two words and it's also one word. Also, Al's your best pal, right? And pal's got Al in it, right? So that's cool. So really, you're kind of all pals of Al, really. And then he's your wakey, and he's put the kettle on, right? You get on a Zoom and say, let's put kettle on, and we start making coffee and whatever else we want. And then that's your morning coffee. Or if 11's is, whatever you want to call it. And then Al is our best defense, right? When we think of products. So you can begin to see that this persona has got this magic kind of sensibility about it and allows us to be human. As Paul knows, and in Revital U, I believe that anything that happens has to be human. We're not robots. We're not, we're in a personal kind of business. And if you look at some of the founding five, they're all very human, personal people. Paul wears his heart on his sleeve. I think you almost want that to be the tagline, wear your heart on your sleeve. There's nothing wrong with that because it makes you human. But Al is this kind of vehicle that we're going to explore and evolve as we kind of move forward. And another quick thing I want to say to you is this. When we say it as corporate, it's marketing. But when you say it and your founding five say it, it's social. So think about that as well as you move through. The other thing that Paul knows that is very, very important to me is honesty. I can't abide dishonesty. Like I said to him the other day, I sent him something and he didn't like it. And I went, fantastic, love it, because I'm going to do something better. That's what honesty is to me. I will come back and do something better. When somebody's honest with me and says, I can't buy that, I don't care why. I don't really care why they like it or don't like it. The fact is, we're not going to go anywhere with it. And we've got more time to do something special. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, mate, really, I think. And by the way, hello from Dallas, right? And DALLASAL.
Fantastic. Pete, I honestly, that phone call, I was actually in this office when I took that when you were kind enough to let me ring you and you gave me some time to speak, and all of the synapses hit me straight away. The second when I was really struggling with the word and you went, yeah, but I like Al. I'm like, Al? What do you mean, Al? And it was like the initial, and then it was like just that wake up call. You gave me my mojo back. By the time I drove from my office to my home to get everybody on the Zoom, I was 10 foot tall and bulletproof, and I've not come down from that yet, and I never intend to, because of what you've put into us and what I believe we are going to be able to put into everybody else. I want everybody to, and we'll not find the right words for it yet. We're still working on it, but there are 54,000 words in the English language that contain Al together, so we've got time. But most importantly, just to have you on board, to be driving us in the right direction, again with your philosophies and it is just an honor to know that you're there as that sounding board and coming up with ideas that I believe we're going to change the world with. And definitely.
And one last thing, remember, as founding fives, as you kind of build your group, Al is your bread and butter. right? Let's, you know, think of it that way. Al is your bread and butter. You know what I mean? As we Brits would say, not over here, but over there. All right, Paul, thank you very much for allowing me a few moments.
Thank you for coming, sir. I'm getting some messages coming through and I can't work out how to stop them beeping. Can other people hear that? Could you hear some beeping going on there? No, that's okay. Okay. Pete, we're going to talk again soon. Thank you, sir. But right now, we've got a monster to launch. Thanks for your time, sir. So, wow, what, just so that you know, and please, look up Pete, but, having people like that to be able to, to go and sound off is something very, very special. And we're going to take this to a whole new world. But it starts today, and it starts in the UK today. But I want to show you what we've got. Now, sadly, we haven't got everything that I wanted. Some things were taken away from us, not by the team, because believe me, the team they've put in hours that you could never, ever dream of. Nobody would have worked. I don't believe any workforce could have worked any harder than what we have done over the last few weeks to get things going, whether it be, Tracy mentioned him, but yeah, Tom Crow has worked tirelessly in the background, helping us to, helping me get everything to where it needed to be. Lots and lots of other people, obviously Val and Lynn that we spoke about, all of those people, but people that you'll never, ever really hear about, people that have been building the systems for us. And not one of them has let us down. We were let down by the man, the banking. Banking is the bane of my life. And there is no way of making anything faster than what it is. So we had to launch with what is realistically our corporate side of the business. The Amagian Life is going to be, eventually will become our corporate side of the business, which will realistically just, we'll just sit there and help everybody sort out everything else. But the brand going forward is going to be Al. And very, very shortly, it's not available today, guys, but please bear with me. I've got something special for you as an apology, but we've got something very special that's going to get you excited. But going forward, the website will be Sample Al. AL, Sample Al. You get people to, have you heard about Al? Have you talked to Al? Have you met Al? Have you tried Al's tea? Have you tried Al's coffee? Have you tried Al's Defend, Al's capsules? Let me introduce you to Al. And you're going to hear a lot of Al. There's going to be Al Speak. And we're already talking in Al Speak. A lot of us have been texting each other over the last couple of days and hyphenating Al in every word. And again, I started my conversation with the team this morning, which was, today is going to be monumental. I've got 54,000 of them to rely on, so you're not going to get bored of it. But, this is a business. And this is a business that I want to obviously launch today. We've got a lot more things coming. I want you to understand that where you left Revital You, where Revital You ends, Al begins. And what we're going to do is we're realistically going to have virtually the exact same back office and the systems that Revital You had. So you're going to be able to log in. Your customers are going to be able to log in. They can actually do it now, but we don't want people getting confused and placing orders or anything like that, because quite frankly, the merchant account stuff isn't quite there. So we're going to rely on plan B for that to get going. But I wanted to make sure that everybody could start today. No more delays. We're about to, and I'm just going to give Tom the nod. In the next few minutes, we're going to make sure that these go live on the website so that people can get this Saturday night really going and get involved in the company. But let me just let me come back and let me share the screen, checking that we can see that on the screen. Yeah, okay. So this is for people that are probably already brand influencers. It's for existing people. It's just a little show special that we're going to run just for the next 24 hours to get people, maybe get some product out there, getting some samples out there so that, people can start. And all these products, if you get this ordered in the next 24 hours, you've only really got a little bit longer than that to get that at these ridiculous prices that are obviously costing us a lot of money to get this done. But we've got some other things that are for new people, but this is for you people that are already brand influencers. And understand, if you are already a brand influencer with Revital You, you're not going to lose anything. You're just going to gain. We're going to take all of the very, very, very best bits of Revital You and bring them into Amagian Life, into Al. Every one of the best bits. I love what the company did, and I can't fault them at all. But there were just some little things that niggled us and that didn't quite work in the UK. So we're taking all the very, very, very best things of Revital You and bringing them to the company, and it's going to start today. So this is one of the first things. This company is always going to be about sampling. We're always going to be talking about people. You try before you buy. If you like it, you buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. But if you do like it, it'll also come with that 30-day money-back promise. And we're also going to make sure that the business also comes with a 30-day money-back promise. But initially, this product is going to be for people getting out and getting some samples out yourself. It's not actually on that, I've drunk it, but Defend, for me, is possibly, well, I think it's probably one of the most important products on the planet. And certainly in what we're going through, obviously we make no claims or anything like that. But over the last 12 months, I've been taking just about all of the ingredients every morning. My beautiful wife, Diane, forces me to take these things. It's not something that I've ever really done previously, up until what I believe I started with. I was ill December before last. And when I started taking the vitamins and minerals that probably I should have been taking beforehand, without a doubt, should have been taken beforehand. All the industry experts tell us that we should be taking things like vitamin C, vitamin D, echinacea. Surprisingly, everything that we have in this amazing product that's been developed by one of the top, well, Amagian is just a genius, full stop. But if you look at the ingredients of this, these are all the things that people have been telling you that you need in your system to boost your immune system. And obviously, without going into detail, there's never going to be a more important time in any of our lives to make sure that you boost your immune system. And the main thing for me, it tastes amazing. It's one of those things you could drink all day, every day. Don't do that. You do not need more than 1 or 2 a day, probably 1. But certainly 2 is a really good feeling, because not only are you getting all the stuff that you need, but also you get that little bit of a buzz as well. And you feel vitamins and minerals that you actually get to feel working, and that energy boost as well. And then without doubt, that for me, it's not a trade secret that I hate coffee. I cannot. In fact, the version of coffee that we've got now is the only version of the coffee that I've ever had, any coffee, whether it be obviously Smart Coffee or any other coffee, that I can actually drink in a big cup and actually enjoy it, which is testimony to the amazing work that Amagian has done. But for me, the go-to product was Smart Caps. The Smart Caps changed everything for me. It made it so easy just to be able to be on the go, not be able to find some hot water, or maybe some people do still drink it with cold, but being able to just pop the capsule and get people to feel what that happened, what that product does. As a lot of the girls say, it's the get things done capsule, and it's. You want to be if you've not got product, guys, you've got to get product. This is not a business where you're going to just be able to sit back and earn money if you do not get passionate about it. And believe me, the way to get passionate about it is to become a product of the product, but most importantly, become a product of our system. Our system works. We're going to take all of those best bits. That sample story sort will come with us, and it'll go forward and forward and forward, and we're going to build on it. But you've got to be able to get out. And now, I think, is it tomorrow? Well, Monday, we're allowed out. We'll be able to actually speak to people in the flesh, talk to people, give them samples, hand them samples of our amazing products. So if you've not got products, and I know there's an awful lot. I mean, I think there's approaching 300 people on here that have probably been involved with the company for a little while. But maybe you need that shot in the arm. You need to feel that, you know, you've become that you're part of the very beginning of the beginning of Al, an Al who is going to become a household name. So that's the first product. That's going to be available very, very shortly. I'm going to get the nod from Tom very shortly to say that's up and available for people. Don't delay. You know, you can listen to me. I would prefer you to do, but I'd also like you to go and buy it and get it so that we can get it out to people. But the other option, oh, that's not the wrong one. I've got the slides in the wrong order. That's my fault. But the first option is, and I'm very, very passionate about this. Understand this. I am a brand influencer. I am a brand partner. You know, I've been involved in this industry for over 30 years. It was only realistically 8 years ago when I met Andy McWilliams that I actually got a little bit of a glimpse of what it could be. And then over the last 4 years, I've managed to, I finally started listening to him. That was a big thing. And I started to tune my own abilities within the industry and be able to, you know, to talk to people. But more importantly, it became very apparent to me that our system works. But it also became apparent to me that a lot of people don't like the system. They give it the, you know, the pyramid, all the negative things that come with the industry. And you never ever hear, it's like they don't allow you to do it. They never ever hear of the success stories. You never ever hear of the Kelsey Blakes, the Tracy Malones, the Jackie Meisels, the Sammy Robinsons, the Rachel Range. You don't hear their stories. They're brushed aside. You hear of all the people that maybe joined a company and never did anything. That's not going to happen with Al. Believe me, it's not going to happen with Al. If you join Al and it's going to cost you $11.99 for your first month, if it's not working for you after that, you can unsubscribe. If you don't feel the benefits of all the back office, you can unsubscribe and still build your business. Build your business. Your business. So, but if it's not for you, you contact us. We will be contacting you if you don't contact us and giving you your money back. I don't want anybody involved in the company who's not working the business, who doesn't want to change their own lives. This is not some sort of club that we're bringing. This is business. And too many people feel that they have to join for the sake of joining and buy the big pack. And I'm not saying that we're not going to have packs, because obviously certain people will be allowed to purchase product once they have proven that they have the ability to move that product on to real customers. Real customers. Nobody ever in Al will be stocking products that they cannot sell. That's not what this is about. Far from it. And if I find out that it's happening, you'll be getting a call. You probably won't see the side of me that probably comes out on camera too much with my heart on my sleeve. You'll see my teeth, because I am not about wanting people to. I never ever want to see a bad Trustpilot review. If people don't like our products, they get their money back. If somebody leaves a bad review about our company, they will be getting a call from me, and I'll want to know why, where that went wrong. Because I am very, very, very passionate about making sure that this works for all of us. So the first thing, you join the business, $11.99 per month as you subscribe. If the subscription is not working for you, then you unsubscribe. You still build your business if you want. If you don't want, then we'll deactivate you. And you maybe come back in 2 or 3 months' time. Those decisions are still just going to be, we're still ironing that out, how we're going to do that. But understand that if you bring somebody into the business for whatever reason and they do nothing, they will be getting the option to cancel. The next thing is, let me go back one. Option 2, you can become a brand partner. It's going to cost you $49.99. The retail value of that is, I can't see it on my screen, £77.31 worth of product. We're going to give you, why don't you get the caps out? Because again, it's my go-to product. I think it's the easiest thing. If anybody can take it. If somebody says to me, I don't like coffee, I'm like, perfect, me neither. Try one of our caps. And if you don't like taking pills or capsules as we are, you simply open it up, put it into whatever drink you like. whether it be Coca-Cola. The important thing is to get it down your neck and enjoy what it's going to do for you. It's going to give you that extra energy. It's going to give you that mental clarity, that energy boost. And yet, it's going to suppress your appetite. So there's only one way to lose weight in my eyes. It's really simple. You have to, forgive me, but you have to put down the fork. Losing weight is really simple. You have to burn more calories than you consume. It starts with putting down the fork and getting that extra energy and using it to burn the calories off that you've already got. So Smart Caps does that for everybody. Again, it's just a simple go-to product that everybody should be using. Now, what we want you to do with that is get it out to other people. Get other people to try it. Try before they buy. You sample them, you get them to your website, and you get them to order the products with that 30-day money-back promise. Can't be any easier than that. And then, yeah, we got our big boy, I suppose. It's probably, you know, for some people, it might be out of your price range at this moment in time. Find it. It's without a doubt the best way of getting involved in the company, because it gives you everything that you need to get off to the very, very fastest start possible. It's £199, but it's £430.70 worth of value, of retail value. Guys, this is without a doubt the best way of getting involved in the business. But it's only the best way of getting involved in the business if you've got that available to you. If you haven't, then come in at $11.99. Build out, prove to the doubters that you can do this, because believe me, we got you back. Every one of the founding five, every one of the people that come into this business, you will be getting the help that you need to build your business. And if it's not for you, yep, you get your money back. It's really that simple. So there's going to be some more announcements over the next couple of days. We've had a little bit, obviously, some technical issues with the website, but that'll be sorted out very soon. Just bear with us. But at the moment, I think you've got everything that you need to make that decision whether you think this is for you or not. I hope and pray that it is for you. I believe with every ounce of every little piece of me that Al is going to become a household name. I absolutely believe that. We've got even countries to launch, and maybe even continents, but it starts today in the UK. Now, I'm hoping that all through this, the wonderful, wonderful Pete Rose is still there, and we're going to go out and we're going to build this, and we're going to turn it into the monster that I believe it should be, and the monster that I know every one of you want it to be. Let me just stop my share and see if I can see some. Pete, let's play the song and let's finish on that. One last thing before you play the song, Pete. One last thing. How can I forget this? I didn't forget. I just got a little bit carried away and a little bit nervous. But I want to wish my beautiful wife happy birthday. None of this was remotely possible without Diane. Now, I'm going to ask her to come on screen just to say hello. And I hope you'll all just give me a virtual happy birthday to Diane. Hey.
Hi, everybody.
She's more nervous than you will ever know about this. Guys, this day will go down in history as being monumental, not just because of the launch, but also because it's Anne. It's the first day of Al's birth, and it's also Diane's birthday. Pete, please tell me that you're queuing this up and we're ready to rock and roll.
I am so ready, my man. Excellent, by the way. So much fun. I'm so excited about what's coming.
Yeah, Pete, it's here, it's there. We're going to take this all over the world, and I know I'm hoping that you're going to be with us on this.
100%, mate.
But and this particular song, there is not just how, again, divine inspiration. I can only think of it when when Peter Wood told me that you know, when he mentioned Al to me, you know, Diana and I have a very, very special place in Greece where we were married. We've got some special friends out there that we're looking forward to seeing very, very, very soon. But this is certainly one of our songs. So it hit me very, very quickly. And I hope I don't hope, it will be. I might be getting a call from Paul Simon asking why his record sales have gone up so much in the last couple of weeks. Maybe we'll get him. Maybe we'll get him to gig at one of our events in the not too distant future. But yeah, this is a special time for us all, and I want everybody. We've got some great playlists coming up. I want everybody to play this in the morning. Get out of bed and listen to this song, and play it before you go to sleep even. But you know, I just love it. It just it brings a smile to my face. And let's be honest, the UK needs to smile. You know, it's been a tough year, and we intend to revive and restore the UK. And it starts with this song.